Good morning, parents and guardians. I'm here today to talk about map testing remotely, what it looks like, why we're going to move forward with it, and all those frequently asked questions. So, here we go. So, what should you expect while doing the map test remotely? Your child is going to answer around 45 to 50 questions. It comes in a variety of formats, multiple choice, drag and drop, things like that. It is all on the computer, and should take your child about 50 minutes per test. This is the most important question. Why do we take the MAP test? MAP growth measures what students know and what they don't know, regardless of their grade level. So it helps teachers adjust their instruction for the students. It also helps us measure growth over time. So you can track your child's progress throughout the school years, across multiple school years. It's a nice measurement, if you will, to make sure that your child is still growing. And also, our teachers use it to adjust and make informed instruction decisions. After each MAP growth test, the results are delivered in a RIT score, is what we call it, and it reflects your students' academic knowledge, their skills, their abilities, things like that. Think of the score like marking a height on a growth chart. So just like we do at home, your child stands against the door frame and we put a dash on the wall or on the door frame to say this is how tall they were in 2017. And then on their birthday of the next year, you mark and say, oh, this is how tall they are in 2018, or however you do it in your house. You can tell how tall your child is at various points in time and how much they've grown from one stage to the next, right? It's easier to see height than it is to see academic progress. So this is one tool we use to see academic progress. It is our measurement to assess students are moving forward from one year to the next. The RIT score does have the same meaning regardless of grade level or the age of the student. So you can compare the RIT score from your child's last year to this year, and it's not as though it's age depicting or grade depicting. It is a progressing scale. So how do we use the MAP growth scores as a school, and how do teachers use it? And why are we taking this test? So teachers use it to make informed instruction decisions. They are able to look at the test results and confidently say, okay, majority of my students do know this. I don't need to spend as much time. Or they don't know this. I need to dig deeper and give more thorough instruction regarding that. It also helps teachers make personalized learning plans. So if they notice a pocket of students are a little bit more shaky with some information, they can go straight to that group of students and hone in on an area of deficit. Or on the contrary, if the students are very confident in it, they can bring the personalized learning to like the next level for some students. And as stated before, we can monitor the growth of individual students, like on a growth chart, if you will. This year, we will not be using MAP scores for math advanced placement. We're using the scores to make informed instruction decisions. What does it mean to be computer adaptive? So this test is on the computer, and the test adapts as your child is taking the test. So it adjusts to the learning level to provide a unique set of questions based on their responses. So if your child gets something wrong, the next question will be slightly easier. If they get something correct, the next question will be slightly harder. This is a way that the computer adapts to pinpoint where the students are learning. And this is unlike many other tests that we've taken, us as adults, as parents, that it's expected that you get 50% of the questions correct and 50% incorrect. That way, we're really honing in on what the child knows. That's a little bit unusual, and it's different for us. But that is one way to really pinpoint the knowledge of the students. So, can MAP tests tell me if my student is working at grade level? MAP growth scores are just one data point that teachers use. It helps determine how a child is performing. MAP growth measures if a student is performing similar to their peers and if they've gained growth from the past. But if you have any questions regarding your student's performance, just go ahead and discuss that with the teacher. Your teacher will know much more thoroughly than one data point will be able to tell you. So the nitty-gritty, what do you need to provide at home? How is this going to look now that they're remote testing? Now, the good news is it will look very, very similar to this, like what the students are used to doing in class. So the MAP test is just like that they've done in class. It will all look very similar to them. So all you really need at home is a device and a charger, and then a quiet test-taking environment with limited distractions, just to help the students remain engaged. I know that's easier said than done. So how do you create a great test environment? The best advice we have is to create a test-taking atmosphere that's conducive to focusing and engagement. We suggest taking any toys or additional electronics out of the test area. And I know that's easier said than done, but if you could even just put them behind the student so your child can't see the toys or the electronics, that might help a little bit, and reduce the amount of activity that might be occurring around your child. So if a sibling normally watches TV on their break, or they go into the kitchen for snacks, things like that, any of those environmental distractions that you can limit would be really helpful. I know it's not easy, but it would help your child focus on the test. And also just if you could reduce any loud noises or conversations that occur around the same space of the student. And finally, just if you can make sure that they've had a good breakfast, they've eaten before the test, like we always say, and that may help remove any interruptions that hunger may cause or any snack wanting within the hour of their testing. An environment with limited distraction helps students stay engaged and focused on their assessment. When students are focused, they're better suited to do the test. That way, it ensures reliability so that we can trust the test and accurate insights for the teacher to make decisions on instruction. So can you help your student if they're struggling or they get frustrated? Now, if we think about this as a parent, we often give hints or guide them to the right answer, things like that. It's going to be very challenging for you to allow your child to get 50% of the test questions incorrect. And we know that that's hard to do because as parents, we naturally want to help our child. What we want you to keep in mind is the purpose of this test is to figure out what your child knows and what they don't know so that the teachers can make instruction decisions. So this can help the teachers provide the most appropriate content to help your child grow. So helping your child answer questions, it compromises the test data and it makes it harder for the teachers to provide personalized instruction. What we do recommend is that you encourage your child to do their absolute best, but please refrain from providing any hints or assisting them in answering any questions. And I know that's going to be challenging, but it will help us get more accurate data and therefore help our teachers create instruction that will help your child. It's also great to remind your child and keep in your mind that unlike other tests that they've taken, each student who takes the MAP growth test, they get some answers right and some answers wrong because the test is adapting to what your child knows. So it'll provide harder or easier questions based on their answers. So that's an unusual feature for all of us. And that's really important to keep in mind. But overall, we just want to say thank you for helping your child learn and grow and helping our teachers to be able to make informed instruction decisions. The support that you guys have provided for our teachers is really uncanny, and we can't thank you enough for helping our teachers help your child. Taking the MAP test at home is different, and we know that, and we thank you for your support. So good luck on the MAP test, and thank you for everything you guys are doing, Manuka. It's been amazing.